People often wonder about savant-like abilities. It's a fascinating idea. Could a normal person suddenly get these amazing skills? Like doing complex math instantly, or playing a piano perfectly after hearing it once, or drawing entire cityscapes from memory. This is what savant syndrome looks like. It's rare. It's also often linked with developmental conditions. Autism is one, brain injury is another. The core question is this: can we make this happen in someone without those conditions? Can we induce it? First, let's think about what savant syndrome really is. It's not just being really good at something. Many people are talented. Savant skills are different. They are usually very narrow. They are also incredibly deep. A person might struggle with daily tasks, they might have trouble communicating, but then they can recall every page of a book they skimmed or calculate calendar dates for centuries back. It's a contrast, a big one. There's a general cognitive deficit, but there's also an island of genius. This island shines incredibly brightly. The abilities often fall into certain areas. Math is common. Calendar calculation is a math skill. Music is another big one. Playing by ear, composing. Art, drawing complex scenes, often from memory. Memory itself, like recalling specific details perfectly. Spatial skills, building complex models. Language, sometimes learning many languages quickly. These are the typical savant skills. They seem to come from nowhere. Scientists have been trying to understand savant syndrome for a long time. They want to know why it happens. One idea is brain damage or differences. This is a big theory. Some savants gain their skills after a head injury, or after a disease that affects the brain. This suggests a change in the brain's structure or function. It suggests a part of the brain that was holding something back, perhaps, is now affected. Think about the brain. It has two main halves, the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere. The left side is often seen as logical. It handles language, it does sequential thinking. The right side is more about creativity. It's about visual, spatial skills. It sees the big picture. Some theories say that in savants there's a problem with the left brain. This problem might somehow free up the right brain. It might allow the right brain to work in new, powerful ways. This is called disinhibition. It means something that was holding back the right brain is now not there. Dr. Alan Snyder is a well-known researcher in this area. He thinks everyone has these latent abilities. They are hidden. Our normal brain processes usually filter them out. Our left brain, with its analytical approach, might suppress these raw, unfiltered perceptions. Savants, according to Snyder, might have this filter turned off. Their brains might process information in a more direct, less analytical way. This could be why they see details others miss. It could be why they remember things so perfectly. So, if it's about disinhibition, can we induce it? Can we temporarily turn off that filter in a normal brain? This is where the idea gets really interesting and challenging. One way scientists have explored this is with brain stimulation. It's not science fiction anymore. We have tools that can influence brain activity. One such tool is transcranial magnetic stimulation. It's called TMS for short. It uses magnetic fields. These fields create electric currents in specific parts of the brain. TMS can either excite or inhibit brain activity. It depends on how it's used. Snyder and his team did some experiments with TMS. They focused on the left anterior temporal lobe. This area is often linked with left brain functions. They used TMS to temporarily inhibit this part of the brain. The idea was to mimic what might happen in some savants. If the left brain's filtering is reduced, maybe those right brain savant-like skills would emerge. The results were interesting. Some participants showed temporary savant-like skills. For example, some got better at drawing. They could draw objects from a different perspective. They showed more attention to detail. Others got better at proofreading. They could spot errors faster. Some improved at mathematical tasks. They could estimate counts of dots more accurately. These changes were not huge. They were not full-blown savant abilities, but they were noticeable. And they were temporary. Once the TMS stopped, the abilities went back to normal. This suggests something important. It suggests that these abilities might indeed be present in all of us. They might be waiting. They are just normally suppressed. TMS might offer a way to lift that suppression. Even if only a little, even if only for a short time. Another brain stimulation technique is tDCS. That stands for transcranial direct current stimulation. It's simpler than TMS. It uses a small constant electric current. This current passes through electrodes placed on the scalp. It can also modulate brain activity. It can make neurons more or less excitable. Researchers have also experimented with tDCS. They target similar brain areas. The goal is the same: to temporarily alter brain function, to see if it sparks hidden talents. The results are often subtle, just like with TMS. But They point in the same direction, the brain is flexible, it can change, but there are big differences between these temporary effects and true savant syndrome. Savants usually have deep ingrained skills. They often show a profound connection to their talent. It's part of who they are. The TMS and tDCS effects are more like glimpses. They are fleeting. They don't last. Also, savant skills often come at a cost. They are part of a broader neurological condition. The cognitive deficits are real. They impact daily life. Inducing savant-like skills in a normal brain wouldn't necessarily involve these deficits. That's the hope. To get the upside without the downside. What about other ways to induce these skills? Not just brain stimulation. Could we train for them? Extreme practice is one route. Think of memory athletes. These people train for years. They use specific techniques. They can memorize incredibly long strings of numbers. They can recall the order of many shuffled decks of cards. Their feat seems savant-like. But they get there through deliberate effort. It's not a sudden emergence. It's a skill built over time. It relies on specific strategies. Savant skills often don't seem to rely on strategies in the same way. They just are. But the lines can blur. If someone practices enough, do their skills become indistinguishable from a savant's? Some argue yes, the brain adapts. It rewires itself with practice. A concert pianist, after decades of practice, can play music with incredible speed and accuracy. They might have perfect pitch. Is that savant-like? Perhaps, but it came from dedication. It didn't emerge spontaneously. There's also the idea of meditation or other altered states of consciousness. Some people report enhanced focus or new insights during deep meditation. Could these practices unlock hidden cognitive abilities? It's a less direct link to savantism, but it touches on the idea of altering normal brain function. It touches on finding new ways to perceive. What about something more extreme, like mimicking brain injury? This is a dangerous thought. We know that sometimes a brain injury can cause savant skills to emerge. This is called acquired savant syndrome. It's rare, but it happens. A person might suffer a stroke or a head trauma. Then they suddenly develop an artistic talent or a mathematical genius. This is proof that the potential for these skills can be latent, and that damage can release them. But purposefully damaging a healthy brain is unethical. It's too risky. The goal is to get the positive without the negative. The brain is incredibly complex. We don't fully understand it yet. We don't fully understand savant syndrome either. What causes it precisely? Why does it affect certain areas of skill? Why is it so narrow? These are still open questions, and if we don't understand the natural phenomenon, inducing it safely is a huge challenge. There are also ethical questions, big ones. Is it right to manipulate someone's brain, even for a potentially positive outcome? What are the risks? Brain stimulation is generally safe, but we don't know the long-term effects of repeated or prolonged use. What if it causes unintended changes? What if it affects personality or emotions? These are real concerns, and who gets to decide what's better? And is having a savant-like ability always a good thing? For many savants, their skills are intertwined with their identity. But they also face many challenges. Would a normal person given a new skill also face new challenges? Perhaps. The brain works as a whole. Changing one part might affect others. Think about the concept of normal. What does it mean? We all have strengths and weaknesses. We all have unique ways of thinking. Is the goal to make everyone exceptional in a specific way, or to unlock a universal hidden talent? These are philosophical points. They need to be considered. The research into inducing savant-like abilities is still young. It's mostly exploratory. The effects observed are small, they are temporary. We are a long way from creating a savant pill or a savant device. The brain is too intricate for simple fixes. Scientists are learning more every day. They are using advanced imaging techniques. They are mapping brain networks. They are studying genetics. This knowledge will help us understand savant syndrome better. It might help us understand the brain's potential. One area of ongoing research is plasticity. The brain is not fixed. It changes throughout life. It adapts. It learns. This ability to change is called plasticity. Could we harness plasticity to foster savant-like skills? Perhaps. Through targeted training, through new forms of stimulation. This would be a more natural, less invasive approach than trying to mimic brain damage. Imagine if we could identify the specific neural pathways involved in a savant's calendar calculation. Could we then create tailored training programs that strengthen those pathways in a normal brain? It's a huge leap, but it's the direction many researchers are thinking about. Combining brain stimulation with intensive training might be a powerful approach. The stimulation could open a window of plasticity. During that window, training might be more effective. The brain might be more receptive to new learning. But again, the goal isn't just to make someone good at math. The goal is often to understand the limits of human potential, to see what our brains are truly capable of. Savants give us a glimpse of that potential. They show us what's possible when certain brain constraints are removed. So, where does this leave us? Can we induce savant-like abilities in a normal brain? The honest answer right now is partially, temporarily, and with a lot of unknowns. We have hints. We have some promising early research. Brain stimulation has shown it can temporarily alter cognitive function. It can sometimes bring out latent skills, but these are not the dramatic, persistent abilities seen in true savants. The journey is complex. It involves deep scientific understanding. It involves careful ethical consideration. It involves acknowledging the difference between a temporary cognitive boost and a profound neurological state. It involves recognizing that savant abilities, while amazing, are part of a larger picture of human diversity. The idea of becoming a savant overnight is compelling. It taps into our desire for extraordinary abilities. But the reality is much more nuanced. We are slowly piecing together the puzzle of the brain. We are learning how it works. We are learning how it might be influenced. For now, the path to inducing savant-like abilities is one of careful research. It's one of small steps. It's one filled with more questions than answers. But it's a journey that could teach us a lot about ourselves. It could teach us about the incredible, untapped potential within every human brain. It could show us that we are all more capable than we realize, even if we never fully become savants.